I think it's been a while since I did one of these, and I kind of stray away from it just because I don't want to be in the same wavelength for some of the nonsense. But like, I feel like the effort and the energy that some folks put in since Perry's untimely demise, blessings to her and her family and her children. It's like, and strength and God's strength and mercies be with her family, because that's real. But then we forget the other side. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he was wrong. He was wrong for what he did. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know what I'm saying? But in the same sense, there's people losing on both sides of that fight. There's people losing on both ends of this tragedy. And a lot of them are children. You know what I'm saying? So, like, people got to understand, like, some of the things that you say about somebody, and understand how much power is in the tongue, that you can speak on someone, on someone's life, on someone's spirit, on someone's aura by what you say and what you perpetuate on them. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? God's word was like, yo, let there be light. Boom, light happened. Let life, it all happened. Gave you the same power as a man, as a mortal. And then people underestimate that and don't realize, like, you call your kid a certain name all the time, and then they turn out that way, and then you mad at them, but you spoke that on them. It goes the same thing as like what you speak on your brother or you speak on your sister. And I'm saying, oh, he's always this and he's always that and he's always doing that. You speak on it, you point it out, you recognize that it was wrong, but you didn't intervene and say anything. You get what I'm saying? Like, you dealing with a whole city that was low-key silent about a lot of this, and then became everyone's superhero when everything came to light. But how many threw a cape on for that girl before things went too far, when they noticed signs? Or, because I'm pretty sure she mentioned something to somebody overlooked it, or the neighbor that heard the arguments before and didn't call the police, like, and just let it ride, because you know what, it's not my business. But then when it comes to the forefront and everything is dragged out before the media, and everybody's playing First 48, everybody's CSI detectives, everybody all of a sudden got their law degree, barely passed high school. Go figure. GED, go figure. But you knew so much. You know, a lot of people, I never even seen most of these people, 90% of these people ever post a picture about this girl. Never sharing a moment with her, not a graduation or a new job or a promotion or chilling at a cookout with her. But then all of a sudden are her best friends that knew her so intimately. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference between being concerned and clout chasing. There's a difference between you being a hero and then you being a hero after the fact. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know when somebody going through something, if you really that tight or that in tune with somebody, you know when somebody aura ain't right, or their energy is backwards, or something's not right up here. You know what I'm saying? Like my brothers, when I know something ain't right about my brothers, I ring that phone. I call them. I meet them where they at. I don't judge them where they at, and I tell them what I need to tell them and get what I need to get to them. What God put on my heart to give them, that's what I go give them. Whatever they choose to do with that is on them. You get what I'm saying? But like, it's a sickness. It's a disease. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I don't condone what happened. You get what I'm saying? It was wrong. There's no way around about it. It's a tragedy. It's just terrible on all sides. Like, but then when the city's in an uproar, when it's the new trend to be the hero for this and the hero for that, everybody's having the same energy they had about Nipsey. How many of y'all still talking about him? You get what I'm saying? Like, the hot topic, the hottest gossip, the hottest scandalous situation to happen around here. It becomes a theme for a few months, and then boom, it's the next thing. Just like Popeyes. But the rainforest is burning. I think as a community, we're so easy and so easily influenced to where we start tearing down people. And then it has the most opinion to say about somebody, but like, where were you when that person was on the right side of things and you ain't encourage them? Where were you when these same folks shared their most intimate moments and precious moments with you and you scrolled right past? Or seen them leveling up in a way and you didn't want to like it? Or even say congratulations. That's how petty things are around here, and it's corny. It's corny on a whole different type of level. And then when somebody dies, everybody knows this person. But I bet a good 90% had no idea. I had no idea who this girl was as a person. I met her one time when I ran into her and Jay in the store. And when I seen them, what I seen was two people that were in love with each other. You get what I'm saying? So you don't ever know what's going on in somebody's house until something happens. But that same energy you greeted them people with, maintain that. You know, there's people jumping on people who might have known these people in more intimate situations and had a different view on them. You can't knock somebody for being where they're at with somebody. Because just like something's a new revelation to you, something could be a new revelation to that person who didn't see this side of that human. Now, I'm saying the man ain't no angel. He got his past, but everybody got one. And everybody's so quick to point fingers and wave hands and they holier than thou. But I guess what? You out here playing judge and jury on somebody. But yet, look deep enough in your closet, you're gonna find something. Ain't nobody out here free of sin, homeboy. Nobody. And at the same time, think about if God took your approach about how you judge people. Think about how God took that approach with you for all the monkey things you've done in the background that nobody's seen. Think about if he maintained that energy every time he could have let you starve when you was hungry. When he could have let you go broke when you was out of work. When he could have let you die when you had that close one. Or when any other thing could have went right or went wrong. Think about if he maintained that energy that you're so quick to maintain on another human being who's just as flawed as you. So if you're so quick to hold up mirrors to everybody else, you better go in that bathroom and take 3 more glances at yourself. I'm not perfect. I wasn't born perfect. I didn't live perfect. I didn't talk perfect. I didn't act perfect because it's not in my makeup. I wasn't designed that way by who designed everything. Everybody was born with a flaw. Everybody was born with a trait. Everybody was born with a different attitude. Everything. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, everybody gets forgiven by the same being. Gets mercies every morning they wake up and by the same being. Gets forgiven by the same being. Gets blessings by the same being. Allows you to continue being blessed even when you do the wrong thing and he still bless you. All the times you come and say sorry and apologize to God and yet you do the same thing. But he maintains the same energy with you. But yet, you in your position are holier and mightier than thou to where you can sit back and condemn somebody else. What if God just wrote you off when you got caught stealing that store that time? Or when you committed that robbery nobody see? Or you dropped that body that nobody found out about, nobody's investigating? Or that girl you slapped around for a few months? Or that little kid you touched for a little while? People don't even understand, like, if you put as much time into reading and understanding the word as you do reading and judging people, you would understand to be careful with this. Too much of this, not enough of this, and half of what you're supposed to be doing here. I say that to say this because, yo, it's out of hand. To the point you start pulling in the people into situations and sins that are not on them. And then when something old from their past comes up, or somebody feels the need to talk about somebody now because it's the hot thing to do right now, until everybody gets selective amnesia. Now all of a sudden, y'all superheroes. Y'all social justice warriors. But this been happening for a long time. It's been going on for a long time. In the majority of your bloodlines. Some of y'all was even eating some of the same thing you preaching against. You ain't say nothing. You protected your attacker. You protected your abuser. You protected your user. You hid your sin. You started fires and hid the matches. So who are you? Who are you to stand and judge and jury of anybody else, yo? Ain't nobody hands clean. Nobody's gonna leave this world clean. Like, that's how real it is. But when your friends choose God and get right, you play them like they corny. They want to come off the corner and get a real job. You call them a square. They make honest money and might struggle, but their family is straight. You call them a bum. But you celebrate all the backward asinine things like they're victories. You promote this behavior and how you talk and the things that you listen to and the things that you entertain. And then when they come visit you in real life, all of a sudden you're disgusted. You're taken aback. But you wasn't taken aback before when you was participating in it. That's the thing that disgusts me about this town. We scream that community crap. But it's mute though. It's all this, but where is the feet work behind it? Where? You teaching your kids different? Probably not. There's people out here condemning Ant for whatever's circulating. That's another thing that disgusts me about this town. Like, y'all quick to share somebody's mugshot and somebody's police blotter photo. You don't even do all the research behind it before you just start circulating something. And don't consider the fact that somebody got a mother, they got a father, they got siblings, they got children on social media. And you don't understand the stigma that you're putting on their kids and putting on their family by saying and doing the things that you're doing. And then you putting them in a position to receive some of the same things that you clear that you against. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what they walk around on their soul and their heart about that situation and how touchy that is. But yeah, you willing to touch upon it. But touch upon the things that's in your closet too. Touch upon the things that's in your past too. And if you can't do that, then you should do a lot more of this. Shut your Facebook down. Go read a book. Matter of fact, go read this one. Read that one. Everything you need to know is in here. Bible. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. You should read this. It's a great read. Spend more time in that than you do in your devices. While you spend time in your devices. Get it? Your devices. Your sin, your lying, your lust, your greed, your anger, your envy, your jealousy, your nonsense. I'm not out here judging nobody. Because I know I ain't perfect. I got a pass. I got a few mug shots of my own. But you know what? The same people that had the energy playing superhero, almost 2 summers ago, I was damn near sleeping in my car. I had all my worldly possessions in my car. I was sleeping on my mother's couch. You dig me? Now, fast forward, I found God. I got saved. I got baptized. I got married. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand, like, when God's getting ready to move you somewhere else, he has to destroy the old you. No one living now is not able to be forgiven or cannot not seek redemption. Because if you feel like these other people are unredeemable, then guess what? When you go to that altar and you fall on your knees and you in tears and you filled with something and you know the guilt is weighing you down, if God maintained that same energy with you, I bet you will think differently about how you speak to someone or about someone's situation. You don't know what you would have done in certain situations because hindsight is 20/20. And a lot of y'all ain't visit the eye doctor in a long time. I say that to say this. The energy you maintain to bring down or talk the most crap about somebody, in that same instant, you could have been the intercessor. People don't understand. It says it here. In here. Here. Says it here. Intercessory prayer and intercession, period, is a powerful thing. Prayer is a powerful thing. Sometimes God gives you trials because he knows your trials are going to bring you to a sense of obedience. And your obedience is tied to the next man's salvation. Listen to what I'm saying. Your obedience to God is tied to someone else's salvation. So when you're out here with the blinders on, you're not seeing the next person that you could really play hero to while you're out here saving the community. You saving the community is simple as having a conversation with somebody who feels like, yo, it's all over. I'm done with this. I'm through with it. Your obedience to knowing what the result and what their afterlife is going to be on making that decision is in your obedience. So if God puts something on your heart to give to somebody, give it to him. You ain't even in a position where you can like, nah, God, I don't want to do it. I don't want to say it. Nah. It's really not a negotiation. It's really a part of your journey. It's really a part of building the best you. If we started building the best us, then the things that we talk crap about and go down about in our community wouldn't happen. Because we're not building this. We're not building this, and we're not building with that. We're not building a relationship with him. How you ever think anything ever go on your right in your day, or even how your day even start without him? A lot of folks get up and go judge somebody on social media before they even get up and say, yo, thank you, God, for life and your continued mercies and your protection and your love and your blessings. Even before they even go brush their teeth in the morning, wash the crack of their tail, you already hopping on somebody. You woke up with something in your heart to trash somebody. And then wonder why negativity surrounds you. You went to bed with that. You woke up with that. You woke up with that on your soul. And you come out and push that on somebody else and somebody else and somebody else. We all connected out here. We all connected to the source. That's the ultimate plug. That's the ultimate gangsters. God. The original. This is the New Testament. Think about all the gangster things he did in the Old Testament. And think that's somebody you should play with. That you should sissyfoot with. And hopscotch with. And act like you fooling him with anything that you're doing. You not. You just feel comfortable because the spotlight is shined on someone else's sin and in their dark corners. What if somebody come in here and hit the light switch on yours? Are you going to maintain the same energy? Probably not. You know, I just feel like we need to be better and do better and be more mindful and conscious about what we spread and what we say about other people and put on other human beings. Life and death is the power in the tongue. You want life in your city? Speak life into the city. Put life into this city. Embrace the man next to you. Squash all old beef and differences and nonsense. Let it ride. Because if you're not willing to, then you're not willing for change. And if change doesn't come, guess what? You have zero reasons to complain about the lack thereof. Everybody too old and too mature and got too many kids and actual things to lose to be participating in the high school nonsense. You get what I'm saying? You got the greatest relationship with everybody on social media. Don't got no relation to nobody in your house. You so busy out here fighting over baby daddies and ex-girlfriends and stupid crap. People that ain't even thinking about you. You ain't spend 2 minutes in here. Not a one. Not even a simple 2 or 3 minutes to have a conversation with God. Like, yo, you too busy to have a conversation with the Creator. But yet, He make time to wake you up. He make time to get you from point A to point B safely. He make time to make sure you eat, you go to sleep with your belly full. Go to sleep with your family intact. But you ain't got 3 minutes out of 24 hours, blood. You can't even holler at the man. You can't. What excuse? When his son tell you, oh, I never knew you. You really want that said to you? When that sky crack and them bells ring and them horns is blowing and it starts getting really real. You want that said to you? That's what you want read back to you? I won't even say in your page of life. It's more of a footnote because your existence is this. It's a grain of sand in the same glass of time. But what are you going to do between the born date and the dead date? That dash, that little space right there. It's all about how you treat your brothers. It's all about how you address your sisters. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, as men, like, you can't be letting none of this slide. You know what I'm saying? But like, you might know your man, but you don't know what your man do when the doors is closed when you're not in his house. You shouldn't be held responsible for what your boy's doing. Unless you're literally sitting there and watching this, then yeah, you guilty, fam, because you enabled it. But if you don't enable that and you don't allow that, and you don't know what he do behind closed doors, you ain't gonna burn for nobody else's sin on this planet but your own. God ain't reading you nobody else's page out of Book of Life when judgment come but your own. So be mindful. Control you first. Master all this first before you can master everybody else. It's easy to play, well, I sin, but my sin ain't bad as his because I ain't killed nobody. I ain't raped nobody. I ain't beat nobody. I ain't stole from nobody. I ain't lied to nobody. But either way, it all weighs the same in God's court. Sin is sin. He don't like none of it. And all of them are redeemable if you repent and you are truly remorseful for what you've done. And you show change because he's tapping on you and shaking you up because he's like, yo, I have all of this on the other side for you. But I can't give it to you until you kill this. Until you ask for all the things that are within me that are not of you and take them away and banish them. He can't give you what he's holding. And it's right there. It's this close. And all you got to do is open your mouth and ask him. Just as quickly as you open your mouth to gossip. As quickly as you open your mouth to negativity. As quickly as you open your mouth to be critical. as quickly as you open your mouth to lie, steal, and kill. That's simple. All the change that we want out here and in this community ain't never gonna happen until we do more than we say. So I say that to say this. Now that everything is out and everything is in the wind, are you gonna play the Frankenstein witch hunt party and put everybody to death that's associated with the man that the sin belongs to? Or are you gonna embrace these people and comfort these people because they losing too? Because they're losing somebody they thought, you know, that they loved, that they thought was a good person. And they seen something in their soul that maybe you didn't. Because you wasn't bonded like that. You get what I'm saying? A lot of y'all hang with niggas you know are just as bad. But you don't want nobody judging them. You don't correct them on what they doing. You enable what they doing. But you got high horses to sit on when it comes to somebody else. You quick to share somebody's mugshot. But when that same person was on the right side of everything and had a business, no likes. When he graduated from school and got certificates to be a better human, no likes. They get married, they have a birth of a child, any of these other things that are positive. You breeze by them because what they're doing positively actually upsets something in you. The weakness in you and the insecurity in you is why you won't like it or appreciate it. Why you won't speak life into it, because you feel like if I speak life into it, it'll take away my power, it won't happen to me. Nonsense. You don't lose any power in bigging your brother and your sister. You actually lose power when you sit in silence and sit back and judge and hate and envy. That's where you're losing your power, because you stagnant in your mind, you stagnant in your soul, you stagnant in your movements, you stagnant in your conversations, you stagnant in your relationships, and you stagnant in your relationship with him. Everybody got a call and got a gift in this world. Just imagine if we learn how to see that in people and embrace that and encourage that and build that. And imagine how powerful we could be. Matter of fact, not even how powerful we can be, how powerful you truly are, but you're not feeding into it. You're not building it up. You're not doing your push-ups. You're not running your laps. You're not banging out them Wheaties in the morning. You ain't on your knees. You ain't falling on your face. Because you're too proud to fall on your knees. I did. I wasn't too proud because I was concerned about what's going on inside of me. When the rest of the world felt like I was tossed awayable and didn't give a damn. I chose to give a damn about me. And the woman I chose to be my wife decided to give a damn about me. And saw me for who I was and not who the rest of the world was telling her who I was. Who ain't even know me. Ain't never paid a bill for me. Ain't never changed a diaper for my son. Ain't never put food on his table, clothes on his back, a good word in his ear. You wasn't around when I was losing. But when I was celebrating, all the love was in the world. But when I was sleeping in my car and sleeping on my mother's couch, where were you? These are the same people playing cheerleader right now for a situation they only know bits and pieces of. That are out here dragging people associated without knowing the whole story, yo. You can't skim this book. Look how thick that is, homie. You can't read the first 2 books and just be like, all right, I got it. I know what I'm doing. Nah. I don't care. You could read this front to cover every week if you wanted to. And I guarantee every time you do, you're going to find something that you miss. You're going to find something in here that relates to your situation. As a man, you can't be contradictory, but this ain't supposed to be contradictory. God don't play with his word, man. And he doesn't contradict himself. People are like, well, how come he let the devil come into existence? Why doesn't he just kill him? But the truth is, the ugly and indifference in this world, the violence, the lies, the hate, the stealing, the envy, the murder, the rape, the kidnapping, the racism, the absolute ignorance is what keeps him alive. So when you want to sit back and blame God for the devil, go look in that mirror, because you to blame. You're to blame. He walked the earth. He ain't even in hell yet. And he ain't even got his seat yet. He has power down here because we give it to him. Because God already gave you the blueprint to totally avoid this cat. Totally. It's a whole book. That's thick. It's paperweight thick. Like, knock somebody upside their head, get them dizzy thick. Like, you hear the thud when it hits the table, right? So you mean to tell me, like, this ain't the manual? That ain't the blueprint? Anything the devil do in your life, you allowing him to do because you gave him power. You spoke it into your situation. You spoke it into your realm. You dig me? So, say what you want. Say what you want about me. I don't care. Because I know what he think about me. I know what he's spoken to me. I know what he spoke to me as a child and told me what my purpose and my walk was going to be. So ain't nothing you can say to hurt me. Ain't nothing you can post, ain't nothing you can say that's going to sway me for where I'm going. I know me. I spent all that time in my own Nikes. I wouldn't worry about fitting in nobody else's. You dig? So, be mindful what you post about somebody. Be mindful how you judge somebody. Because by what's in this and what you follow and hear, you will be judged. Okay? You want to be a jury? Go sign up. Go sit on one. You want to be proactive like that? Go do that. You want to be a judge? Go pay that tuition. Go really get that law degree and really study a lot of the things you're talking about. Because you don't know how easily you can get certain charges by doing the most minute things. And when they're posted in a police blotter, how quickly that can be magnified because you don't know the lingo and you don't know the ramifications and you don't know the classifications of certain things. I knew because I sat in school and I did the homework. I know because I learned it on one side, but I also learned it on the opposite side. So I've seen it from both angles. So if you haven't given that much time or that much education to something, you probably should just study. You can call this a shameless plug if you want to. But if you're ashamed about God and you're ashamed about how God moves in your life and do what he's doing, like, you out here halfway crooked, man. So I say that to say this. Think better, speak better, live better, do better. Be better towards one another, you know. Be safe, be blessed. Get all that's coming to you. You dig? But first and foremost, big up your relationship here. And I promise you, there's so much opens on the other side of this when you choose obedience over what your flesh is telling you, what your mind is telling you, what it's telling your mouth to say, because it's so easy to say something venomous and ugly about somebody. If you think before it reaches here, but listen before it gets to here and before it gets to here, you'll see what your true power is. Well, this is the world according to Blak. Peace and love. God bless you. And I love you even if you don't love me. And that's real. Have a good evening.